Healthy Body by Sophie. So I just finished a step workout video, 30-minute step workout video, and I am going to do some stretches now to just relax and and stretch all of those joints and muscles and fascia that got a good workout. So let's see what we're gonna do. We can you could use a ball like so and do some movement rolling on it. This is good to do at any point, whether it's a post-workout or whether it's just this alone by itself. If you want some really easy, slow movement, just rock side to side, or your body's going from one side to the other, nice and slow, and then go to the other side. So here I'm rocking the whole body, left to right and right to left. And as you see, my feet are doing the same thing. I'm going to to your right, to your left, to your right, to your left. Okay, you can even have the same thing with your arms. This is actually good. With the Tai Chi that I've done in the past, lots of movement or coordination, upper and lower body. And when I do this, it kind of reminds me some of my Tai Chi moves. It's not the same, of course, but there is a logic behind it. And now switch to the other side. So in towards you with your arm and open, stretch forward. Close, open, switch, close, open, and you have to work your balance because you're sitting on a ball. So if, for example, you cannot stand because for whatever reason you're not able to do a workout standing, you can do it like this sitting. You could apply this standing, but it can be done either way. It's good for whatever reason. It's good even if you can do it standing. So if you were standing and you would do this standing, whether you keep your feet to contact on the floor or you're moving like this and switch, it's good to do it sitting as well, because when you do it sitting on a ball, like a big yoga ball like this, you're massaging the pelvic floor muscles. It's very important for men and women. It is important even more so for women, especially a woman who has had a child, you're a child. Those tissues of the pelvic floor get stretched and tightened, and this is nicely relieving tension and pain. And switch. Then you're gonna go across this. So here I'm stretching the whole line and across and stretch across and. So here I have my legs apart. You could have your legs however far you want. The closer they are, actually the more difficult it is, because then your center of gravity, well, you won't be able to bring your arms over to the side, obviously, because you would fall if you did that. So you have to have your legs apart at more than your shoulder width. Usually shoulders are wider than the hips, but not necessarily. So whatever center of gravity you need, whatever widest side of your body is the widest, make sure that your legs, your feet are spread out further than either your upper or lower extremity, whichever side is the widest again. Okay, now we're gonna have arms up and across to your right and to your left, to your right and to your left, to your right and to your left, to your right and to your left. And I'm gonna switch to your right and to your left, to your right, to your left, right, sorry, left, no, it's the opposite for you. So right for you, left and right left in. And at the same time, the legs do this, okay, as much as you can. If you can't, you can't. Keep them bent. But if you can, straighten one. As your arms extend to one side, the opposite leg is straight, okay? So if I go to, if you go to your left, your right leg will be straight, okay? Good. Now we're gonna just go side to side and flex. So as long as you keep having the momentum there, you won't be falling. You could be sitting like this, your feet are not all the way out. You should not anyhow. I did enough ballet when I was young. Ballet is great, however, having your feet pointing out all the time, you do have to have the foundation. However, if you do that only recreationally, that's okay. But when you do it to a point where it's actually professionally, it's like any sport or any activity really, even a profession, no matter what the profession is, the more you do that, then the more your body is gonna need, or your mind might need the balance of doing something different to counterbalance, because we should not be doing the same thing, whether it's our mind or our body, whether it's too much or too little off. We always have to work toward creating balance in our body. Alright, so now we're gonna have our legs in front of us. We're gonna flex as we move forward. So these movements, I've done them in some other of my exercise ball videos, but here's just a gentle cool down as I am talking about what your body may need after you do a workout or after you've worked all day, and about that balancing and creating homeostasis. So if you've got an intense workout, you need to relax, calm down, cool down. So here we're stretching a bit the calves, which with the steps we did, you're probably gonna feel, especially if you've never done steps or cardio workout like this, you're definitely gonna feel it. So stretching is very important. A nice Epsom salt bath is amazing. Hot tub can be fine in sauna, but just a nice Epsom salt bath. You can use Himalayan Himalayan bath salt. Make sure you don't use any table salt or salt for eating, as that salt definitely would irritate your skin a lot. You want to make sure it's a salt that's for bath. Like I said, Himalayan rose quartz salt can be amazing, or just Epsom salt is great as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna go sideline. I'm just gonna stretch a bit my back in extension. So I'm gonna go this way. And as you may know, I have been very good, because I'll have to say I've been doing lots of things that are helping me and create a balance, so I don't my body doesn't get stressed. So my vertigo is a lot better than it used to be, but I know it still can be there if I don't be careful. So here I'm gonna drop my body down and then stretch here. I don't want my head to go past and over where it's gonna be inverted. So I'm just gonna stay here and stretch my shoulders out. So it's gonna stretch in here and open the chest over there, stabilizing with my hands behind my head, and chin in, when you drop it in. I'm now gonna pull my head back in extension. It's not good for the brainstem to do something like that, as I am always working on stretching that through different technique, as opposed to jarring it further up into the brain component, the neck. And exhale. Squeeze your, so you're going to posterior tilt with your hips and back and buttocks, and now bend your knees and lift. So make sure your back is nice and relaxed on the ball, and you're just gonna do, it's like a bridge, but here I'm just on the ball. So instead of doing a bridge from the floor, I lift my hips up. I have to use, kinetic movement. It was upper and lower body. As I'm on a bar, it's more wobbly this way. So my goal is to get my left side and right side coordinated with my glutes engaging. So it's challenging the glute muscles, the back and the core more in that way, as your body may want to go left or right. So if I bring my legs closer, it makes it more challenging, like it can be dangerous, so be careful. But that's one way to increase the challenge and make really that neuroreceptor triggers, to get them to really stay in check and engage, so that you can feel. The slower you go, the more you'll feel what your muscles are doing. The faster you go, obviously, then left or right is gonna want to give in or give out and not stay engaged. So slow is good. Squeeze and drop down and squeeze up, which puts your pelvis in a posterior tilt, and down. Keep your tummy engaged and up, posterior tilt, and down. Keep your tummy engaged. Don't let go of the stomach muscles or the ab muscles. And down. Anterior tilt, posterior tilt. Let your head relax down. Good. Good. Now bring your chin in and you're gonna roll back up. So my hands are behind my back and slowly bring your arms down. So roll your shoulders just to loosen up through the shoulders, especially if you have a bit of stickiness and tightness in the shoulders. If you stay too long with your arms up like I was, it can be tender through here. So that's when you could get your baseball in a tube sock and work those tissues. So in this case, you would watch my video that is for the rotator cuff muscles, and it's good for maintenance to prevent any issue. Or it's good if you do have any bit of issues. Keep your arms as straight as possible and do the wheel back. Arms as straight as you can. So here my arms are going like this, and then the other one back. There we go. And open back, open back, open. This one back, and now forward. So here I'm like this with my hands, so extending here, extending there, and then I'm gonna switch, rotate in my. So it's kind of the opposite when you do the crawl. Here I'm having my hands, instead of going forward, they go the opposite. Okay? So when I go back this way, right forward, now your left, then you go back with your right, with your left, now you go up and back. Good. Good. Now hug yourself and side. Have winder stance here and roll to one side and to the other side. So you're gonna go toward your thigh, but don't go forward right now. We're just gonna stay open actually. So just here and to your right. Keep stretching your arms as far back as you can with your hands, hugging yourself. Left, right, left, right. Keep your head neutral. So keep looking in front of you. Left, right, left. So stretch your left arm as you go to your right, your shoulder anyway. Stretch your right side as you go to your left. Stretch, so you pull this way here. But do not twist, you stay lateral, so you stay in this position, you don't go here, okay? And to your left, to your right. Pull that belly in so you feel it stretching on the side through here, and you have to slight pull belly in. Good, and roll everything. So you go forward and back with your hips and your legs, and you roll back with your shoulders, and you roll forward as you keep doing that movement with your legs. Thumbs pointing forward. That will allow mobilization of your shoulders. You can even have the palm of your hand forward. That's if you really have a shoulder issue, like through here, that should, unless it's really acute, your problem, it should keep your shoulders in a position that it's not going to catch in your shoulder joint at the glenohumeral junction there. Okay, and forward. Good. Palm of your hands are face up, forward, and thumbs pointing back. One to the side. Alrighty, so this was good. I hope you enjoyed this little cool down, warm up, just movement through the body. This is actually as I'm talking, I'm doing this. I like to move when I'm talking. So this is actually a good exercise to do. It engages your, so if you have stability, and let's keep going with this one. Lifting. So you could, to stay centered so that you don't lose your balance, you could have your arms, you can have your arms go back at the same time. This way it's going to keep you from falling actually, so you're not falling back. So if your arms go from behind and up, it's going to allow you to really, so thumbs forward, so you go forward to the floor, then up to the ceiling to the floor. That's a really good exercise. You're going to flex. It's a bit more challenging, so if it's too difficult, then don't flex. Even me, I see my body going side to side, and that could be very well because once I know some of my body parts, like my right calf is tighter, and my hip and low back is also in balance, so that can make it that as you're challenging into the flexion of your legs, it's making you twist in your back, and that's why your body wants to turn or lean to left or to right. You're engaging your abs actually when you do this, because you're actually going into this position. When you go into this position, you're going to engage your abs, yet because I am upright. So flexing your feet is going to make you engage your abs more. If I'm going here, it's not engaging, it's engaging my abs, but not as much. If I flex and bring my arms back and lean forward with it, and keep my head neutral just to help us balance, it's making my abs engage. Like a pendulum here, we're doing counterbalancing. Let's try and do 5 or really stay centered. So with your eyes, look in the middle of your body, in front of you. So I have a mirror behind the camera so I can see myself somewhat. So that does help. So you should try and have a screen of some sort where you can see yourself besides the screen that you're using to do this with me. Good. Very good. Alright, so I'm going to go to the floor and stretch. I'm going to get some blocks. So these are bamboo blocks. Now these blocks. Alright, so you can find foam blocks and it will be softer. But this is fine. So here, from sitting here, I'm going to go in that crisscross position. I'm only using one. I'm just putting the other one behind for now. And you could use both. So here I'm actually using both. Why not? As well. So here I'm sitting. I'm on 1.5 kind of thing. Alrighty. So here I'm sitting straight up. My knees crisscross. So if you're a bit stiff, then that's a good way to elevate your body, and then you're gonna stretch forward. Lift your arms up and come straight up and down and forward. So you could use a blanket, you could use a stepper if you have a stepper, you could use whatever it is you have at home that will allow you to be raised like this. And you're gonna go to one side. You're gonna bend, so you're gonna put your arm far enough where you're gonna bend and go to the side and center and to the other side. And stretch all through here. And back up and to your right. Keep that belly engaged here. You don't have to tighten up so hard, just a slight tilt in the pelvis, ever so gentle, enough to keep everything in check. And to the side. Feel the stretch on the side, on your right side here. And back to center and switch to your left, or to your right, sorry. Now you're stretching your left side here as you go to your right. Good. Alright. Now you're gonna put your legs in front of you and you're gonna try and touch your toes. So you could do this on the floor directly, or here it makes it a little bit easier if you go on a platform like this, whether it's a blanket, something softer, or something as hard as a bamboo blocks. But it gives you leverage to be able to stretch forward more easily. If you need that because of some hips or back tightness or hamstring tightness. So this works good. Now try and have your feet nice and straight on your back. And arms up and down. I'm gonna put our legs in butterfly. So out with your knees and your feet pointing forward, nice and tall. So I have my shoes from when I did the steps, but I very well could take my shoes off right now. So by all means, go ahead and do that if you need to. And we go down forward. Keep your hands on your wrist and try flat and straighten your back. Drop your shoulder blades down, bring your arms in. So instead of having your arms on top of your knees, bring your arms in closer to your upper thighs as your hands are on your leg and ankle, around the ankle. And you're going to stretch your arms forward and go as far down as you can. And stretch your back. Stretch your hips. That should feel good in the hips. It feels really good actually. Using a block makes it a lot deeper stretch actually. And make sure your stomach muscles are engaged and lift your arms up and go back up. Good. And elbows out, stretching your rocking back and forth, one side. You can use your hand to stretch down, rocking back and forth with your body to stretch your hips. I'm gonna take my shoes off and just stay in my socks because I feel that that's what we should be doing right now, as we are doing more of a slow stretches, which is normally high impact. Socks are completely fine. Left to right, rock your body side to side and look straight in front of you. Now hands down again, body forward, And stretch as far as you can. Now you're going to be able to go further a bit. Straighten your back, drop your shoulders toward your hip. And stretch your arms up as much as you can. That feels so good actually. So if one block is not enough, you could always put 2 blocks or use a stepper and put it at the highest height. That would be a lot easier. There we go, and up and down, up, down. Good. Stretch forward and bend and straight and bend. Now we're gonna take this down to the floor. I'm gonna put my blocks. And I'm gonna open my legs out like this, and I'm gonna go to one side. So here, I'll go this way so you can see what I'm doing. So go to your right. Try and keep this side here. Don't let this side here lift up. Make sure it stays on the floor here, and on the mat, on the yoga mat, and stretch down. Now once you stretch where your body is pointing toward your leg, then you open and bring the right arm in front of your body and go across. So you feel a stretch right in through the side. If you can touch your toe or your foot, do that. Otherwise just touch your leg or stay up here. Arms up and switch side. So face your left leg and go toward your left leg with your upper body. So rotate your torso as much as it can toward your left leg. And remember that I am mirroring you, or you're mirroring me, so that's why I'm saying the opposite and what I am doing. As a general rule, let's start to the right side first. Okay, now we're going to turn facing this way. The left arm is going to go in front of you, and your right, your left arm is going to go in front of you, and your right arm is going to go across to your left. And you're going to stretch, you're going to feel a stretch right all in through here. And head neutral this way. So I'm not really focusing too much on my feet. You can have them flex all the way, you can have them pointing all the way. We could add that once we have stretched a bit through. Now straighten your arm as you go back to neutral. Good. Let's bend one leg and let's go forward. And stretch. Arms up and down and switch side. So one leg might be, you might have issue with a knee, or or you have had in the past, and as you bend the knee it's a bit achy. Just go with your comfort. If it's too much, put a towel here or a pillow so your leg raises higher, or put a block or a blanket or pillow behind your bottom and use that to counterbalance for any issue, especially if here my hip wants to go up, so it really defeats the purpose. My hips are not 20 years old anymore, so as a result I need a bit of support, as there's a bit more stiffness and stickiness into my joint. So here you bring a pillow to raise your body. This pillow is not same, let's stretch forward. I'm going to go back into the straddle position. That's a really big stretch, that straddle position that I did earlier. What I'm going to do, I want a bit more height to allow me to have more leverage. So I'm going to put the block and the pillow above it, because the block is quite hard. But I'm going to use the block to my advantage. With the pillow above it, and go into the straddle position, using as well a pillow here to give me some support. And let's see how far we can go this way. So this is great. Use props as it helps you to get your flexibility a lot better. Now that feels amazing. Now this is how you work your straddle or lateral split. And I might end up going all the way over, and then I'm going to end up on my stomach on the floor, and we're going to do the frog, which is to practice like the butterfly. Okay, I move the pedal a bit more forward, as my body is probably going to want to move forward eventually. I don't know, we'll see if it does today, but if I stay long enough into the practice here, I might. Maybe not today, I don't know. And come back forward, up. There we go, straight, I'm going to bend in. And then the other one. And go back into the stretch forward. So try and have your feet pointing together like this. There you go, that's much better. So definitely getting a lot of lots of stretching here in my back. It feels so good. Back here, and just go one leg open and one leg bent, and now be more off away from the block that's underneath, so my body's pointing more towards the straight leg. Just a bit and go forward. So my body's gonna want to really go over here. I'm focusing on one leg here only, because two legs I'm not ready for it, but one I can do. So one I can end up on my stomach. Just like this, and you're stretching one leg at a time. So you just have to listen to your body, and don't rush through things, but practice at the same time, and work with props to create modifications to fit your needs at any given time. You can rest your head if you want. Good stretch in the hip. Definitely could not do that at this low level that I am with both legs out. That would be way too much for me right now. But this is very good one time. I mean, it's hurt, but it's a good hurt because I know it's stretching and loosening everything. Never said that stretching was the most pleasant thing, but the more you practice it, and then you know the feeling of the result afterward, even if you don't do the stretch or the practice for a while, when you do it again, the body remembers what it experienced in the past, even if it was a long time ago. And it's like, yeah, it hurts, it's a good hurt though, and I know it's helping. You know when it's helping or not helping. The key is to go with your limitations and improvise and modify to fit your need at the time. I would not have needed this when I practiced before because I had been prepared from practicing for days and weeks and years. But I've not done this in quite a while. This side, it's not as going as it's more locked up in my hips. I can feel it, I know it, but that's okay. So I'm compensating a bit in my back. I'm not quite a square, but that's the way it is, it's okay. And this hip of mine, the right one, usually is always more rotated outward anyway. So there's a bit more of an issue, imbalance in some way in the acetabulum joint. SI joint possibly as well. And forward arm straight. Good. Now let's see how I do in this position with a frog. Now move on that out of the way. This position here. So here, it's like this. Here. This is a great exercise to do. You can use a pillow here to prop yourself. That helps. And make sure you're square so that you actually feel the stretch anyway. Really good stretch. You can even add the other pillow now to give you more height, to feel more square. There you go. And then move the pillow back to drop your hips a bit more. There you go. You can pull yourself back to be more square, open here. And stretch. Forward and back. Put the belly in. Drop your shoulder blades down. Shoulder blades down. Right. And head neutral. And go forward. Keep that motion of the legs. And the knees more. And right here. So the feet are touching, toes are touching each other. Your head can be resting on the pillow. You can push yourself up with your hands on the pillow that you have in front of you. If you didn't use pillow, then you have your hands on the mat. Go into your forearms here, and then you're gonna slowly. So I'm curling up my toes and bringing my knees in. I'm gonna go down into child pose. You can use a pillow here to help you with that child pose position. And stretch. You can have your arms apart, spread out, or closer. Whatever you are wanting to do that feels comfortable. And rock back and forth here. Keep your elbows down. So you can go on your hands now. Forward, camel and cat. Camel, cat, camel, cat, camel round, cat, look up. And extend your back. Flex and round your back, your chin in. Extend your back, and head back, shoulder blades downward. And jump pose, stretch nice and relaxed, stretching your arms up above your head, put your horizontal level against the pillow with your head and arms, and come up. So I hope you enjoyed this stretching routine. I would strongly recommend, maybe not today, unless you really feel like it, or maybe you already did it, doing one of the trigger point release classes that I have done in previous videos. If you would like me to do a new version, an updated version, or whatever my body will feel like it needs at the time, with working trigger points and with the baseball or lacrosse ball or t-ball, there's many options you can use. Let me know and I will make sure to make another video. If you really enjoy those, I can keep making them as I do my own training for myself. I can record them and you can follow along with me if you would like to have a little variation, so it's not always the same one you're watching. But basically the idea is the same thing, it's just it will be a different scenery, different time, obviously, since it will be done now in 2022 as opposed to 2020 or 2021 when I made the others. And obviously it will be a bit different. But give me feedback if you like those with the trigger point videos, and I'll be sure to make another video for anyone interested or allow new viewers to experience those exercises that are so important for self-care, especially when you've done, well, actually lots of things, too much sitting, too much intense workout, you name it, too much of something requires for you to do something different in your life and with your body and your mind and your spirit to keep balance, homeostasis, and keep yourself grounded, to be the happiest person, the best version of yourself every day. Thank you very much for watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are out there. Until next time. Thank you and namaste.